Good evening, I'm Tyler Krueger.
And I'm Eliana Moreno. Here's what's coming up next on PantherVision. Fans of all ages cheer on the Badgers. We'll have full coverage of Bucky's run to the national championship.
Some ketchup. Here you go. Eat it.
It's time to dust off the grill and put on your blue and gold as opening day kicks off the Brewer season.
You've been waiting all winter, that terrible, terrible winter.
Hey, I'm running for president.
The Student Association elections are coming up, but are students even participating?
It's been a rough 15 seconds.
All that and more coming up on PantherVision.
From the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, this is UWM PantherVision. A weekly newscast reported, written, and produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication. And now, the news.
Good evening. Well, it was a wild weekend to say the least.
In less than 48 hours, Badger fans went from elation to dejection.
With two, with one, deal is up, missed it, and the Wisconsin Badgers have made it to Monday night.
It started with one of the biggest wins in state basketball history. 2 nights later, it ended in heartbreak.
Setting it with 3 seconds is going to run out of time, and the Blue Devils are the national champions of 2015.
We have complete coverage of the Badgers' national championship run.
We'll start with the jubilation. To get to the national championship game, the Badgers faced a familiar foe. Kentucky knocked out the Badgers by 1 point last year, and this year they were a perfect 38-0. After the game, they were 38 and done. The Badgers knocked off the perfect team with Frank Kaminsky leading all scorers. It was a perfect birthday for the 7-foot center.
Mid-post right, turns up, in, going glass. You talk about good on good, that's exceptional on exceptional. They'll play for the national championship.
Hey, whose birthday is it? 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 Hey, whose birthday is it?
National TV. Everybody up, and Otto, you're on.
Hey guys, way to go!
The players got a hero's welcome back at their hotel in Indianapolis, and as Thomas Kelly reports, they're heroes in Madison too.
Badger fans in Madison were ready for the big win.
Go Bucky! Yeah!
Even the smallest ones.
Go Bucky!
Dennis Mistriotti believed that the Badgers will come out on top.
I think they'll have a chip on their shoulder for sure. I would put my money on the Badgers winning this one.
Yeah.
Fans waited in line all across Madison for the game, but that didn't dampen their enthusiasm. For the second year in a row, the Badgers faced Kentucky. The game and the excitement went back and forth. The Badgers won 71-64, knocking out the undefeated Wildcats. After the game, hundreds of fans spilled out onto the streets for a wild night of celebration. In Madison, I'm Thomas Kelly for PantherVision.
The fans were orderly in Madison. Police say there were no arrests after the Kentucky game.
But the same can't be said for fans in Kentucky. Riots, looting, and fires broke out in Lexington after the game. Police in riot gear used tear gas to control the unruly crowd, and street sweepers were used to clear fans just after 2 a.m. 31 people were arrested. Police say they will face charges including public intoxication and disorderly conduct. 2 nights later, the Badgers played in the national championship game for the first time in 74 years.
Their opponent, the Duke Blue Devils and legendary coach Mike Krzyzewski. The game was tied at halftime, but the Badgers came out strong in the second half. At one time, they had a 9-point lead. Across the state, fans were on the edge of their seats, and as I found out, nowhere was that more evident than in Madison. Excitement spread far and wide at the UW-Madison campus, as the anxious but enthusiastic atmosphere of a championship pregame built up amongst fans. The students were certainly passionate about their home team.
Who's going to win tonight?
Badgers!
The drinks began to flow as the game kicked off and students filled the Union. Shannon Hall, which holds nearly 1,300 people, was host to the deafening cheers of Badger fans. Just like any Badger game in Madison, many crazy characters were in attendance. It wasn't all fun and games, though. As the contest neared the end, students could feel the championship title slipping through their hands. Utter deflation filled the room as the clock ran down to 0. The Badgers had made it to the final for the first time since 1941 and lost to 5-time champions, Duke. The Union emptied, but the students weren't done yet. Despite the loss, Badger fans kept their team spirit high. Many students were brokenhearted.
I'm very bitter. I am bitter. I'm bitter. I'm very bitter.
But in the end, the mood was rather bittersweet.
Something to look forward to next year. Seriously, we do. We do. Hey, always keep your head up. Positive outlook, right?
Proud of all the teams that made it in the tournament. So we still beat Kentucky.
In Madison, I'm Tyler Krueger for PantherVision. 5 people were arrested on State Street following the Badgers' loss to Duke. The arrests were various forms of disruptive behavior. Although the crowd was mostly peaceful, police say there were at least 2 fires involving clothing and toilet paper.
Things were quiet on the streets of Milwaukee, but not in the bars. And at UWM, Panther fans put on their red and white to cheer for the Badgers. PantherVision's Helen Koth has that part of our coverage.
Supporting their state, UWM students packed into the Sandberg Flicks room and the Gas House to cheer on the red and white. And red and white was what they wore. Not only do they share a state with the Badgers, the UWM crowd roared just as loud as them too. Monday night proved that UWM students know their sports and their players. And with both locations serving food and drink, the UWM campus was definitely the place to be. Milwaukee students cheered hard as they watched the Madison team play hard. In the end, it was a devastating loss of only 5 points, and Milwaukee fans didn't take it well. They may not have won a national championship.
Hey, we got it here since 1941. No complaints, okay? That's World War II. That was a long time ago. Let's go Badgers. Peace and love, Wisconsin.
But they did make their fans proud and prove that Wisconsin is a force to be reckoned with. In Milwaukee, I'm Helen Koth for PantherVision.
The Gas House didn't have an open chair all night. The Badgers ended the season with a 36-4 record.
UW Oshkosh said it's getting rid of some athletic programs to save the school money. This is in response to the proposed state budget cuts, which would slash funding for the UW system. The programs being cut are track, cross country, men's soccer, and tennis. 2 coaches will also be let go. The cuts would go into effect in 2016.
UWM is now offering buyouts as an attempt to deal with the impending budget crisis. The chancellor announced the buyouts on Saturday. The university is offering 50% of the base salary to those 57 years old and up with at least 30 years of experience. UW Oshkosh and UW Green Bay announced similar buyouts last week. UW Eau Claire and Superior were the first to announce buyout proposals.
UW System President Ray Cross says he's working to make the system more focused and accountable to taxpayers and lawmakers. He spoke at the UW Board of Regents meeting last week in Waukesha.
Holding us accountable drives our cost and the time to degree, which drives down student cost. So again, let me stress that flexibility without accountability cannot endure.
Cross offered to lawmakers data which tracks student graduation and retention rates, the school's affordability, and satisfaction among alumni.
Meanwhile, UW System Regents have approved raising tuition for out-of-state students at most of the system's 4-year schools. The board voted on the proposal Friday. Starting next year, tuition is expected to go up by hundreds of dollars for non-resident students at 9 of the 13 four-year universities. At UW-Madison, tuition for out-of-state undergrads and graduate students could increase by thousands by 2016.
A protest against Governor Walker's budget cuts never panned out at UWM. A wet and rainy Spades Plaza was supposed to be the site of the protest on Wednesday. It was organized by UWM's Progressive Students of Milwaukee group. We're told the protest has been rescheduled for Thursday, April 16th at noon. Coming up next on PantherVision, student association candidates are making their case.
And MATC prepares students for the weather, using more than just umbrellas. All that and more when PantherVision continues.
The Surgeon General issued this warning because smoking causes lung cancer. The Surgeon General issued this warning because radon can cause lung cancer. Radon is an invisible radioactive gas that seeps inside your home from underground. Protect your family. Have your home tested. Call 1-800-SOS-RADON. Radon problems can be fixed.
This is where powerful ideas lead to proven results. This is where you belong.
A strong, productive workforce. Building one requires proper education and training, not just for today, but for tomorrow. That's why for the last 100 years, thousands of successful workers wearing hats like these began their careers with this one hat.
Polls open this week to decide who will be UWM's next Student Association president.
Candidates have been active on campus, making one last push to win over voters.
PantherVision's Alexander Shun reports.
I want to represent each and every one of them.
When there's a lack of interest in student government, running for Student Association president can be difficult.
Hey, run for president. Run for president. No? All right.
It's been a rough 15 seconds.
We can't advocate for your best interests if we don't know who you are, and if you don't know who we are.
Yeah, that's something we've been working on this year.
Only 1% of students voted in the last election. Candidates see that, among many other things, as a major problem.
We can't get proper student input if we're not hearing from them all year round. So one of the major tenets of my platform is to change that culture.
A third of our student population is student parking, or commuter students. So having accessible parking for them is important.
We need to make a more accessible online presence. Right now, there's no real good way to, from when you're at home or when you're online, to access us and really figure out how you can submit questions or comments, and that needs to be an easier way to do that.
All candidates offered resolutions to such problems.
What grade level are you, if you don't mind me asking?
All believe that they are the best fit for the job.
I realized there were a lot of other problems that I really want to help address, and especially as a team, as a university as a whole, unite those student leaders, unite those students to move forward together.
I'm going to address you every step of the way, because if we're not keeping in touch, then there's no way that we can work together to bring about the changes that we seek. And that's ultimately what we have to do.
It's been 12 years since a student association president was reelected, so it's exciting that we really have a student government that's working again.
It is now up to UWM students to vote and decide who will take the position of student association president. In Milwaukee, I'm Alexander Shun for PantherVision.
Students can cast their vote online starting tomorrow. Polls close on the 17th, and that's when the new Student Association president will be announced.
The search for the next College of Health Sciences dean is down to 2. Jeffrey Joyce is the vice president of research at Kansas City University. And Mitchell Whaley is the Dean of the College of Sciences and Technology at Ball State University. They will both be on campus next week for interviews and public forums.
UWM physicists are spearheading a new project they hope will resolve one of the last lingering questions in Einstein's theory of relativity. The scientists will be searching the stars for signs of gravitational waves, ripples in space-time caused by massive cosmic events like the Big Bang. The project, which involves more than 60 researchers from 11 institutions, will use some of the most advanced equipment on the planet. The team recently won a $14 million grant from the National Science Foundation.
April showers can bring May flowers, but they can also bring the threat of thunderstorms, tornadoes, and other severe weather. Daniel Fisher learns more about how students can stay safe downtown in tonight's MATC report.
Spring is finally here, and with it comes the possibility of poor weather.
The National Weather Service has declared that today is the beginning of Wisconsin's Severe Weather Awareness Week. To coincide with this, MATC's Public Safety Department is instituting a series of severe weather drills.
Sherry Olszewski was instrumental in putting these drills in place.
We generally try to coordinate this drill at the time of year when the state is practicing for severe weather, specifically tornadoes and strong winds.
Wisconsin is no stranger to this type of weather. The state receives, on average, 29 severe thunderstorm warnings per year from the National Weather Service in Wisconsin. In 2014 alone, the state was hit by 22 tornadoes, 18 of which occurred in the month of June. Students and faculty alike shared a concern about the severe weather in the state.
Pretty concerned. I mean, I'm afraid of tornadoes.
Oh, I'm very concerned, especially with what took place last night over in Illinois and parts of Wisconsin.
But differed in their knowledge of where to go in the event of an emergency.
I wouldn't know where to go in severe weather.
Something happens, you go to your area that you're in, to a safe, secluded area.
Evacuation plan signs can be found in all of the MATC campuses. Alternatively,
students can go to the MyMATC portal for more information about the drills that will list the dates and times. It will list the procedures. Give us a call at 414-297-6588. That number is answered 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Drills will be held every day this week until Thursday. From MATC PantherVision, this is Daniel Fisher, signing off.
Luis De Leon joins us with a look at our weather.
Thanks. How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. You know, with springtime comes a lot of that rain, a lot of that severe weather. You know, last week we saw some storms, but I don't think we're going to see much severe weather this week, which is always a good sign, you know? Beautiful week of weather.
I mean, summer's coming, so I'm okay with it.
Oh, yeah.
I can deal with rain as long as it's not snow.
Yeah, of course, definitely. As we go to our weather headlines, we're going to see one warm week as the warm-up trend will occur throughout the state, making that spring weather much more apparent. For today and much of the week, we are going to see a chance for some light showers, but mainly just a slight chance here or there, but for the most part, a very dry week. As for the winds, also playing a role in the warm weather with winds light and variable, so not too windy as well, which is always great to hear. For your current conditions, currently here in Milwaukee, mostly cloudy skies with that temperature right now at 58 degrees and a dew point of 34, as those showers and drizzles are just exiting the area. For the rest of today, as those clouds are going to dissipate along with the rain, we're going to see mostly about partly cloudy skies right now with a temperature high at 62 degrees and the precipitation chance at 30%. So mainly just for like a stray shower or anything like that. For the lows across the state, we are seeing a lot of the same temperatures in the upper 30s, maybe just touching 40. Starting up north in Rylander, pulling off that low of 36, down to Green Bay, 40, Oshkosh 39, here in Milwaukee 42, out in the Madison area 39, in Eau Claire 38, and La Crosse 40. As for the highs, a very warm day across the state, even up north in Rylander, just touching 60 with that temperature at 59 right now. In the Green Bay area, both in Oshkosh as well, 62 degrees. Down here in Milwaukee, 62. In the Madison area, 64. And La Crosse 65, out west in Eau Claire 64. As for tonight, as those clouds move away, we're going to see clear skies with the low of 41. Wind's going to be calm coming out of the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. As for tomorrow, a very nice day. Sunny skies with the temperature high at 61 degrees. Calm winds again coming out of the south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So a wonderful day to get outside. This whole week's going to be a wonderful week. As for Wednesday, another nice day. Partly cloudy skies with a temperature high of 55 degrees. So that temperature dropping just a little bit. Winds coming out of the west at 10 to 15 miles per hour. So nothing too windy, no blustery winds or anything like that from the lake. So it should be a great week so far. As for your extended forecast, we're going to see the rest of the week going to be warm. Thursday, cloudy skies with a high of 63. Friday, once again, maybe even hitting 70, but with a high of 68. Possibly going to see some precipitation that day as well, but nothing to be concerned with. As we move into your weekend, Saturday is looking great with sunny skies and a high of 61. And Sunday, partly cloudy skies with a high of 55. So a wonderful chance to get on down to the lake, do anything outdoors, go for a run, go into the woods, anything like that.
Perfect tailgating weather for the Brewers.
Definitely.
Glad the warm weather's back. That brutal cold in Milwaukee, that Milwaukee wind is awful. I'm glad the wind's not going to be back.
Yeah, no,
Just in
definitely.
time.
Of course.
UWM PantherVision reporters are being honored as Best in the Midwest by 2 different journalism organizations. PantherVision reporters won 3 regional Mark of Excellence awards from the Society of Professional Journalists. PantherVision won for Best Series, General Reporting, and In-Depth Reporting. The competition was open to students in 4 states. PantherVision also won 3 awards from the Midwest Broadcast Journalists Association, which represents 6 states. The awards were given out over the weekend at the Midwest Journalism Conference in Minneapolis. Coming up, find out why some students are trading in their books for broths.
Plus, more on the Badgers duking it out in Indianapolis. All that and more when PantherVision returns.
Minds can achieve anything. We make sure they get to college. Federal student aid provides more than $150 billion in grants, loans, and work-study funds to make college possible for anyone with the mind to get there. Because if given the chance, minds will do great things. Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
Sooner or later, you're going to have to start. Oh, it won't be easy at first. It'll take time, dedication, and commitment. It will be the most important thing you'll ever do. Yes, sooner or later, we'll all have to start. So, what are you waiting for? Saving for your financial future is easier than you think. Get started and choose to save. It will pay off in the long run.
When international disaster strikes, only one type of donation can purchase clean water, get medical supplies, rebuild homes and businesses, and provide culturally appropriate foods. This one donation gives exactly what is needed for each unique disaster situation. Save lives, save time, donate cash.
The awards are piling up for Badger big man Frank Kaminsky.
And UWM Baseball has a banner week. Rachel Moreno has it all in sports. Rachel?
Thanks, Tyler and Eliana. As we told you at the top of our newscast, it was a wild weekend for Badger fans. It started with the Badgers getting their revenge on the Kentucky Wildcats after losing to them last year in the Final Four. Frank the Tank Kaminsky led the game with 20 points and 11 rebounds. He won all 5 Player of the Year awards this season. Junior Sam Decker added 16 points and hit the game-clinching 3. The 71-64 win put the Badgers into the NCAA championship game. It was Wisconsin's first trip to the national championship game since 1941. The Badgers' title hopes came to an end with a 68-63 loss to Duke. The game went into halftime tied at 31. The Badgers went on a 6-point run to put them ahead with 15 minutes to go. Duke freshman Tyus Jones hit a 3-pointer to put Duke ahead with 1 in just over 4 minutes to go. Jones led the game with 23 points and was named Most Outstanding Player. For Kaminsky, it was the final game of his college career.
These guys are my family, and I mean that literally. I don't mean that hypothetically. I've never been closer to a group of guys in my entire life, from the coaching staff on down to every single player on this team. It's just going to be hard to say goodbye.
It was Duke's 5th national title. For the first time in Panthers history, Panthers baseball pulled off a no-hitter. It came last week against UW Superior's Yellow Jackets. Freshman Alex McIntosh pitched the first 7 innings on short notice. He struck out 11 batters and walked 1 in his 93 pitches. Senior Mike Schneider closed out the game, its first time since he's taken the mound since injuring his elbow back in 2003. The Panthers won 7-0. Building momentum on their first no-hitter, the Panthers upset number 15 Iowa. It was their first victory in a nationally ranked opponent since 2009.
Yeah, we did a good job. We It's going to be one of those midweeks where you break up the game and you get 7 or 8 pitchers in it, and other than one inning.
Junior Leak Meteor had the game-winning hit in the 8th to go along with his first 3 hits and 2 runs. Senior Cody Peterson locked down the game with his save in the 9th. Panthers haven't allowed an earned run in 18 innings. The UWM track team has 2 more runners of the week. Sophomore Kate Novacek and senior Jordan Schmidt are being honored for their performance in the Big Blue Classic. Schmidt dominated the 400-meter hurdles with a time of 52.36 seconds, and Novacek placed second in the 400-meter dash with a time of 55.86 seconds. That's all for sports. Back to you, Eliana and Tyler.
Thanks, Rachel. Skipping class tempts many UWM students daily, but it's even harder to resist on Brewers opening day.
And some students chose brats over books as the team kicked off their season.
PantherVision's Tanner Bakala takes us to the tailgates at Miller Park.
Beer, brats, Brewers. Hours before the first pitch, cars pour into Miller Park for the Brewers' home opener against the Colorado Rockies. For fans like UWM student Derek Rapavi, tailgating is an all-day event.
Got here about 10 o'clock, about an hour ago. Oh! Like, you've been waiting all winter, that terrible, terrible winter, for this day, and then just the rest of the season.
And with that, missing class for today's game doesn't weigh heavy on Derek's mind.
No, it's all right. I mean, lectures, so, slides are posted on D2L, so we're good.
Hey, that's game!
Physical therapy major Zach Heupel serves as grill master despite some minor setbacks.
We didn't bring utensils, we didn't bring like a spatula or anything.
This is how real tailgaters do it.
I've got 4 brats ready.
Here you go, eat it.
Pretty good.
You get this masterpiece already?
MKE.
Italian sausage stuffed chicken breast. What are you doing? You're gonna eat the whole thing with one bite. Yeah.
Unfortunately, all the food and drink comes with a price.
I have to pee so bad right now. See that line over there? It's crazy.
But long lines show no signs of dampening these fans' spirits.
8, 9, 10.
Happy opening day!
In Milwaukee, I'm Tanner Bakala for PantherVision.
Derek and his friends plan to try to make it to at least 20 games this season. UWM students looking to catch a game can score $9 reserve seats at every Friday home game.
Thank you for tuning in for tonight's edition of PantherVision.
You can watch us on Time Warner Channel 14 and AT&T U-verse Channel 99 at 5:30 on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and again at 10:30 on Saturday and Sunday mornings.
Have a great week.